And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this special tropical weather update from OBXtoday.com. I'm Sam Walker. Just after 5 o'clock on this Wednesday afternoon, and we wanted to get you a little caught up on what's going on, and we felt like this deserved a special report, as we are going to be dealing with the waves, anyway, from two tropical systems at about the same time. The National Hurricane Center has begun issuing advisories on Tropical Storm Mindy, which is down in the Gulf of Mexico, and we still got Hurricane Larry on the other side of Bermuda, or going to be eventually be on the other side of Bermuda. And so we're already seeing the waves, as you can see our live shot here from Jeanette's Pier, courtesy of surfchecks.com. We got that's a nice swell coming in right now. There's going to be some great video and photos over the next couple of days from all these surf spots to watch. It's going to be an epic couple of days of surf, it looks like. Just looking at that long right-hander there. Left-hander, excuse me. Here's the live view from Avon right now. As you can see, a little more closing out, not quite as clean as that Nag's Head swell was up at Jeanette's Pier. And then here's how things look down on Hatteras, off of Hatteras, looking to the south beaches. So it's going to be busy for the next couple of days surf-wise. This is all coming from Larry. Plus, we got a south wind that's going on right now. And we're going to throw in the mix Mindy. And we'll get to Mindy in just a moment. So there's what things look like out on the water right now. Back to Jeanette's Pier. And then again, here's Avon. Let's stick with Jeanette's. That seemed to be the cleanest rides right now. So we'll stick with Jeanette's for now, kind of flip back and forth. But I do want to show you some of the graphics that we've gotten in, that we are watching, because there's quite a bit of weather activity to talk about this afternoon. Let's start with what's going on the national radar, as we've got some weather that we're dealing with at the moment here in northeastern North Carolina and up and into southeastern Virginia. We got some showers and thunderstorms that have popped up as we've gone into the afternoon. You can see those here kind of developing up along the state line, a little cluster over towards Edenton right now. And Hertford, and then back over towards I-95 and on down south. Some of those may get to us on the beach. Definitely going to see a little bit of rain on the inland areas. Now, what we are expecting, this front, here's the front back here on the other side of the Appalachians over West Virginia, Kentucky, and into Tennessee. That's the front that's going to bring us the threat of shower and thunderstorm activity tomorrow. But out ahead of that, we're seeing some instability. Then we move down south, and here is Mindy right now, out just off of the Florida coast, the Florida Gulf Coast. Mindy becoming a tropical storm this afternoon. Oh, one thing else I wanted to show you. This popped up on the National Weather Service Wakefield office Twitter a short time ago from the thunderstorms that have been moving through the Richmond area today. Here's what, you want to take a look at what lightning can do? That's a runway at the Richmond International Airport. Right there, that's what a lightning strike can do. It knocked a hole right into, it looks almost like it hit one of the runway lights. But, yeah. It hit the center line, because they're actually lights, put in the asphalt as on those runways. So that's what lightning can do, in case you didn't know. All right, here is this is the 5-day graphical forecast from the National Hurricane Center. It was put out at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Actually, it was updated at 3:20. It's probably going to be updated again now that we have advisories. Yep, it's updated now. There's Mindy. We're going to get to her in a second. There's Larry. We do have a wave that's coming off of the west coast of Africa in a few days that's going to need to be watched. It looks like it's a low chance of development right now. So you give it a week or so, and then we may be talking about that one. But what we're going to talk about now is Larry. Here's Larry. At least that's the public advisory. That's not the text. You don't want to really see that. Let's go to the graphics on Larry. Large swells generated by Larry hitting the East Coast, Bermuda, Bahamas. It's going to skirt just to the east of Bermuda as a hurricane tomorrow, and then curling up towards Newfoundland on Saturday as a post-tropical hurricane. But what we're seeing out of it is the waves. Get to that in a second. Here is Tropical Storm Mindy as the first advisory is out on Mindy. And nope, we want to see her graphics. That's what we're wanting. We're not wanting her that way. We want to see the first advisory graphics on Mindy. Here we go. Here is the latest on Mindy, which is going to be a tropical storm that's going to probably make landfall between tonight and tomorrow. Between now and tomorrow morning, around Pensacola, that section of Florida, the Big Bend. Scoot across South Georgia, and then ends the depression out in the Atlantic over the next couple of days. So you got Mindy. It's going to stir things up a little bit. Looks like she's going to stay off the coast. We're not going to get an impact from her directly. It's going to be, and then we got Larry with the waves. So here is a satellite image of Mindy as she's getting a little cranked up. Seems to be just going to be a minimal tropical storm going across again, back to a depression. Once it gets out over the Atlantic, it's just going to stay a depression, eventually become post-tropical behind Larry. So, but one thing about this is that it's not going over waters that Larry has churned up. It is with the long period swell, but not where it's not the 40-foot waves that Larry is doing out here. It's going to be the 5 to 10 foot stuff. So that's the latest there. Real quick look. Here's what the models are thinking on the latest runs. As a pretty weak tropical storm at best, more likely a tropical depression is what the current forecast of the National Hurricane Center is. Over the next 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, just kind of parked out there, even after Larry gets by. So what's that going to mean for us? Well, this is what the current wave height forecasts are, the current wave height observations are from NOAA and INSEP and the Ocean Prediction Center. 42 feet, 45 feet in the center of Larry. Wow. So right now we're in the threes. That's the range of the 3-foot waves all up down the coast. It's probably a little bit higher than that. Some 4 to 5s are starting to show up. These are some observations, seeing some 6 and 7s with periods. Significant wave height is shown. The average height of highest 1/3 of the waves. So 3 to 6 right now. This is going to get closer as we get in through the next day or so. Here is what the current forecast from the National Weather Service and NOAA are for the wave heights. And this is your significant wave height and peak wave direction over the next couple of days. So let me go back to, let's go to the current. That's where we're at right now. So we're in the 2s, maybe 3s. And let me slow this down. We'll go back a couple of steps here. So here's how things are. This is what we're looking at right now. So right now we're in roughly this is right now, I say now, but 12 Zulu. So that's, that was earlier today. So that would have been about 6 a.m., 5 a.m. And as the day has gone on, we've seen those wave heights pick up. Here is what they're looking at probably tomorrow. That's 48 hours. Let me go back a couple of steps here. All right, so there's your 36 hour. So that's some 8 to 9 feet out here, 8 feet out here on the south, just offshore of Hatteras and Ocracoke. So 6 feet, 5 feet. So that's what we're looking at this time tomorrow. Then we get on into, we'll do it as a step. Let's about this time on Friday. There's the peaks. This is probably one of the worst of the waves is going to be is on Friday. And still, just offshore, we're looking at the 7 to 8s along Hatteras. Really, if you look at it from Nag's Head down to Cape Point in the 7 to 8 foot range, and 5 to 6 for the south-facing beaches, Frisco, Hatteras, and Ocracoke. And then moving on ahead for the next couple of days, and then it kind of backs off. Now, look here. This is the area. There's Cape Lookout. This is, let me blow this up a little better. That's how small that was on the screen. So here's Cape Lookout. Here's Cape Hatteras. Here's the area of waves that are probably going to be associated with Mindy, which is expected to be a tropical depression. Now, if you see the direction of the waves right now, they're coming from the east. So that's still swell from Larry, but then you're going to get this swell that's going to start getting kicked up out of Mindy. So because they're just now getting the advisories issued on Mindy, and here's how things look Saturday, it may be a little while before we see these predictions come in, because now that we do have Mindy coming in, I'm just going to step through these one more time. So there's, still hasn't really changed much. That was I just refreshed to make sure. We're probably going to see some changes coming out of that over the next 12 hours from the National Weather Service and the National Hurricane Center as far as what these wave predictions are going to be. So let's switch back over to wait for the graphics here. I think that was the last one I wanted to show you. That's just a satellite image. Oh, I did want to see pop this on here. And you probably saw us share it earlier today on the Facebook page, on the OBX Today Facebook page. Share it on my personal one as well. Mike Seidel from the Weather Channel, he's down at Panama City Beach. He shot some video, something he's never seen before. I've never seen anybody do this before. And this looks like something that maybe we ought to be thinking about. That's a banner flying up the beach down at Panama City, Florida, saying, "Dangerous rip currents, stay on shore." That's some great messaging right there. We talk a lot with the National Weather Service. We talk with Drew Pearson, who's director of Dare County Emergency Management, and other emergency management directors around the state. We talk to our pals down at Newport and Wilmington and Wakefield at the National Weather Service office, and they always push about us doing our messaging about rip currents. And to see a video like this, to see down in Florida that they're flying banner planes saying dangerous rip currents, stay on shore. You know, we've got spots we run on the radio about rip current safety. This might be another tool that is it's out there. It's a great idea. So maybe it's something we need to be thinking about doing here. So that's the latest on what's going on. We got Tropical Storm Mindy. We got Hurricane Larry. None of them are going to be direct impacts. These really are going to be wave events. I didn't focus much on what impacts we're looking at. So we got rip current threat. We got really good surf. We do have this high risk of rip currents. Currently, the forecast, although we do have a high surf advisory, goes into effect tonight at 8 o'clock for all the beaches. So that's waves 5 to 8 feet or higher. Whenever we get into that 8-foot category, that's when the high surf advisory goes into effect. We may see a little bit of run-up ocean of erosion and overwash. Looks like if it's going to happen to be on Friday's high tide. We do have a north wind coming. That's one thing. I go back to the front. We go back to what that front's coming through tomorrow. So what's that going to do? That's going to shift our winds around. Right now, blowing out of the south, that's going to bring us that north wind. Well, obviously, that brings us an onshore wind. So the surf's going to get a little mushy. It's going to get a little ugly riding-wise. But it is going to increase in height. So you got onshore wind. We got the long period swell off Larry. Throw in Mindy in 2 days. Maybe looking at a little bit more of a threat of overwash than we originally thought we were going to get out of this system when we were talking about even this time yesterday, or we did our OBX Today live at 8 o'clock. So that's where we're standing right now. We may have the potential for some overwash at high tide on Friday, maybe Saturday, but it's really going to be a small threat. High tide is around 10 a.m. Thursday. Well, actually at Oregon Inlet, it's 10:05 tomorrow in the morning and 10:28 tomorrow night. So Friday, it's in the 11 o'clock hour. and then midnight, Friday night, Saturday morning. So we do have that potential then of maybe seeing some overwash with the combination of Larry, Mindy, and the onshore wind. But the rip current risk is our biggest thing. Water temperatures in the 70s. We got people who are in now for the post-Labor Day vacations, a lot more experienced, if you will, visitors to the Outer Banks this time of year. Most everyone that books this time of year is usually the same people. So a lot of you, the threat is that don't get in the ocean unless you know what you're doing. And really, you don't even need to be out there. We've got the red flags are up. You can be fined for going to the ocean. The only people that can go in the ocean now with those red flags up are surfers or bodyboarders with real bodyboards, not the things that you buy at the stores with the foam that break as soon as one wave hits them. Those are, you got to know what you're doing if you're going out in this stuff, but you have to have that to be in the water now. Lifeguard patrols are out. We don't have lifeguard stands up. Everybody's gone away from those now because the season is over. So we've got the roving patrols. So you're going to see if anybody's above their knees, they're going to get told, get out of the water. If you see anybody, tell them get out of the water. I don't need more stories. We got enough story here just telling people not to go in. I don't want to be talking about the people that went in and didn't come out. So just keep that in mind. We're not looking at any threat of any rain, wind, or anything like that from these. We got a chance of some severe weather coming out of these storms that are forming now and tomorrow with the front coming through. But we really aren't looking at anything from the storms and stuff. This is really going to be a wave event for us over the next couple of days into this weekend. So that's the latest. We'll keep you up to date as we always do with the latest on these things at obxtoday.com. We will also have updates as needed here on our social media channels with live video. I'll be back with you tomorrow at 8 o'clock with OBX Today Live with a full rundown. And then as needed throughout, we'll probably do another one of these tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening to keep you up to date as we go through the next couple of days. If conditions really start to get silly, then of course we'll take it even further. And we'll have updates on all our radio stations, Beach 104, Big 94.5 WCMS, 99.1 The Sound, and Z92.3. I'm Sam Walker. Have a great rest of your what's today? Wednesday. Yeah. We'll see y'all tomorrow.